On one side stood Gohan. Earth's greatest warrior was cloaked in the silver-purple aura of his beast state. His glowing red eyes held no bloodlust but only a painful determination. On the other side was Goten. His little brother had transformed into the embodiment of a nightmare. The beast instinct state had stripped the boy of all reason. His long black hair stood on end like obsidian blades, while his blank white eyes reflected only a single command: destroy everything that moves. Ga. Growl. Goten's roar lost its human timbre. It sounded like the scream of an ancient god released after 1,000 years of imprisonment. The boy lunged at Gohan using no martial arts and no techniques. Only instinct. Goten's speed was so great that even instant transmission seemed sluggish. He became thousands of black shadows surrounding Gohan, and each delivered a fatal strike. Gohan stood in the eye of the storm with arms crossed in defense. The impacts rang out incessantly like rapid-fire war drums. Each of Goten's punches weighed 1,000 tons and was wrapped in a strange red-black ki, possessing extreme corrosive properties. The steel-hard skin of Beast Gohan began to crack. Fresh blood sprayed out and mingled with the boiling lava beneath their feet, too fast. And too heavy. Gohan gritted his teeth as he felt the bones in his forearms groaning under the pressure. He isn't holding back at all. He is burning his own life force to fuel this power. If I fight back, then Goten's young body will shatter. But if I do nothing, we both die and Earth is finished. Goten found an opening in Gohan's moment of hesitation. The boy slipped under Gohan's guard with razor-sharp energy claws slashing upward straight for his brother's jugular vein. Gohan. Look out! Piccolo screamed from afar with a voice cracking in panic. Gohan didn't dodge. He knew he couldn't. If he evaded this strike, then the energy wave would fly straight behind him where Goku and Vegeta lay motionless. He had to take it. Schlick. The cold sound of metal piercing flesh rang out. Goten's claws buried deep into Gohan's left shoulder and tore through muscle to reach the shoulder blade. Blood sprayed in a torrent and dyed the ground red. Gohan roared in pain, but he did not step back. Instead, he stepped forward. He used his own body as a trap to lock Goten's movement. I caught you. Gohan exhaled as sweat and blood mixed on his face. Goten growled and tried to pull his hand out, but Gohan's muscles clamped down on his arm like a steel vice. The boy opened his mouth and a sphere of black energy began to accumulate to blow Gohan's head off at point-blank range. Gohan ignored the deadly sphere. He spread his remaining right arm wide and embraced his maddened little brother. He held him tight and ignored the spikes from Goten's aura piercing his chest. Listen to me, Goten. Gohan's voice rang out as a whisper conveyed through telepathy. He activated his supreme ki control to connect rather than attack. He transferred his pure silver-white ki into Goten's overheating body. You are not alone. You are not a monster. You are son Goten. You are the son of Goku and the brother of Gohan. Images of memories flooded into Goten's mind like a waterfall. Learning to fly with Gohan. Sneaking steamed buns with Trunks. Goku patting his head before the tournament. And above all, the feeling of safety whenever he was embraced by his family. The energy sphere in Goten's mouth vibrated violently, then dissipated into smoke. The boy's blank white eyes began to waver intensely. Gohan's gentle purple light gradually dispelled the crimson fog. The aura around Goten extinguished. The boy returned to his normal form and collapsed into Gohan's arms unconscious from exhaustion. Gohan gently placed Goten on a high rock where the lava had not yet reached. He tore off his sleeve and bound the wound on his shoulder tightly to stop the bleeding. But just as he let out a sigh of relief, a cold laugh filled with cruelty tore through the atmosphere. Bravo. Bravo. What a tear-jerking display of familial affection. I almost cried. If I still had tear ducts. Gohan whipped around with eyes sharp as knives. A hideous creature was taking form on the other side of the giant volcanic crater. It was Frieza. But no longer the sleek Black Frieza of before. He was now a monstrosity. Half of his body had been pulverized by Goten to reveal pulsating organs and biomechanical parts. He was not standing. His lower body had mutated and merged completely with the ground. Roots of purple-black energy from his torso dug deep into the earth like the neural network of a gigantic, malignant tumor. Frieza Gohan hissed through his teeth. "What have you done? What have I done?" Frieza chuckled gurglingly. "I realized that no matter how strong I become, you Saiyans always find a way to break your limits at the last second. So I changed the rules of the game. I am no longer Frieza. I am Earth." He spread his maimed arms wide. "I have linked my life force to this planet's core. I injected all the destruction energy I accumulated over 10 years into the center of the Earth. Now I am the heart of this planet. If you kill me, the heart stops beating and boom. This entire trash heap of a solar system turns to dust." Bastard Vegeta punched the ground in helplessness. He's using his own life as a hostage. Coward Frieza continued his insane tirade. "Furthermore, the countdown has begun. Even if I don't die, my energy is corroding the planetary core. Earth will explode in less than 30 seconds. And this explosion will tear the fabric of space and drag all of Universe 7 down to hell with me. I may not win, but you will definitely die." Despair engulfed everyone. Beerus stood high above with a grim face. He could destroy Frieza, but he could not save a planet self-destructing from its inner core. Whis also shook his head since he could not reverse time when the event was tied to the existence of the universe itself. Gohan stood there with hot wind blowing his messy hair. He looked at Frieza and the rising lava before looking at his exhausted loved ones. Calculations ran at light speed in his mind. He was a scholar. He understood energy structures better than anyone here. "Kill him and it explodes." "Don't kill him and it explodes," Gohan muttered. "Then there is only one way. I have to separate him. I have to surgically remove this tumor before it metastasizes completely." But he needed absolute focused power and precision at a quantum level. His current strength was not enough. He was too drained from the battle with Goten Dad. "Uncle Vegeta. Uncle Piccolo. Can everyone hear me?" Gohan shouted via telepathy to all Z fighters. Goku's weak voice rang in his head. "I have a plan. But I need energy. All of everyone's remaining energy. Right now." "But Gohan, if you attack, he will trigger the explosion." Krillin worried. "I won't attack him. I'm going to drag him out of there." Gohan interrupted with eyes burning with resolve. "Trust me." A brief silence. Then Piccolo spoke first. "Do it, Gohan. I trust your intellect even more than your strength." Piccolo raised a trembling arm. Goku smiled and raised his hand toward his son. "Show him the power of an Earthling's son." Vegeta gritted his teeth. His pride forbade him from relying on others, but reason told him this was the only chance. "Don't you dare disappoint me, brat." He raised his only functional arm. Specks of hopeful light began to rise from all over the ruined battlefield. From Krillin, Yamcha, Tien Shinhan and Android 18. All converged into rivers of light flowing into Gohan's body. Gohan felt the power surging. Not violent like a transformation, but warm and steady. It was the power of unity. He didn't transform into beast. He needed control rather than an explosion. He remained in his ultimate state, but his eyes glowed a silvery white of extreme concentration. Gohan brought his index and middle fingers to his forehead. The familiar stance. The stance of his greatest Namekian mentor. "Compress," Gohan whispered. The aura around him began to twist. It compressed tightly into his fingertips instead of radiating outward. Compressing more. And more. From the size of a ball, it shrank to the size of a grain of rice that was brighter than the sun. "Frieza, you think you have become one with the earth. Your biggest mistake was thinking the earth would accept you," Gohan shouted, and the sound shook the very space around them. Frieza felt a primal fear creep up his spine. He saw Gohan's fingertips. That was not a normal attack. That was a drill. "You? What are you planning? Stop. If you fire, everyone dies," Frieza screamed and tried to trigger the Earth's core to detonate immediately. Too late. Special beam cannon, second form, planetary surgery. Gohan thrust his fingers forward. Zoom. There was no loud explosion. Only the sound of wind being sliced so sharply it was terrifying. A microscopic spiral beam shot out at speeds far exceeding light. It pierced through space and through Frieza's weak defenses. But it didn't pierce through him. The beam suddenly expanded upon touching Frieza's chest and turned into an energy tornado. Instead of pushing back, it created a massive vacuum suction. It latched onto Frieza and the pitch-black root system of energy he had planted in the ground. What the hell is this? I'm being sucked out. Frieza was horrified. He felt his body being peeled away from the earth. Get off my planet. Now Gohan strained with every fiber of his being. Veins popped on his face and neck. He swung his arm violently toward the sky like a fisherman yanking a massive catch out of the water. An entire tectonic plate was uprooted. Gohan's spiral beam acted like a divine hook and ripped Frieza along with the entire mass of destruction energy right out of the ground. A majestic and terrifying sight, Frieza was dragged in a long fiery trail clumped together with a bubbling black sphere shooting straight up into the sky. I am the Emperor. I cannot be discarded like trash. Like this, Frieza's scream echoed in the air, then grew fainter as he was thrown out of the atmosphere. Gohan didn't let go yet. He continued to control the beam and steered that deadly package far away from Earth's orbit straight for deep space where no life existed. Gohan clenched his fist when he felt it had reached a safe distance. Detonate out in space millions of miles from Earth. The energy drill exploded. It triggered Frieza's destruction energy as well. A supernova explosion erupted brilliantly in the vast cosmos. Its light was so blinding, it turned the pitch-black night of the universe into day for a split second. The Z-fighters had to shield their eyes from the terrifying brightness. But no shockwave reached Earth. Only light. The light of purification signaling the end of a tyrannical reign. Black Frieza, the most persistent and dangerous enemy in Dragon Ball history, was completely obliterated at the molecular level. No regenerating cells. No Dragon Balls for resurrection. He had become cosmic dust forever. Gohan collapsed to the ground. His legs had no feeling left. His vision blurred and his ears rang. He fell backward flat on the hot ground. The sky above him was changing. The dark, toxic clouds vanished as if they had never existed. The sickly red of the apocalypse gave way to the deep azure of the night sky. And then the first rays of dawn began to peek over the horizon to paint the ruined mountain peaks in gold. "It's over," Gohan whispered with a single tear rolling down his cheek. He had kept his promise to his dad. He had protected Pan's smile. Limping footsteps approached. Piccolo was the first to arrive at his side. He knelt down and placed a large green hand on his student's shoulder. "You did well, Gohan. You have surpassed me. Surpassed even your father. Today you are the true hero." Goku was helped over by Vegeta. Both great fathers were battered, but their eyes sparkled with unconcealed pride. Haha. This kid, Goku laughed, even though every laugh was a stab of pain that moved just now. "Planetary surgery, huh? You have to teach that to me." Vegeta huffed coldly and turned his face away to hide a relieved smile. "Acceptable. At least the royal Saiyan bloodline wasn't humiliated by weakness." Goten had also woken up. The boy looked around in confusion, then burst into tears and ran to hug Gohan. Trunks walked over too and clapped his friend on the shoulder. The group of Z fighters gathered under the dawn light to share a silent but magnificent joy of victory. But the story did not end there. Two gods were observing everything in a hidden corner on a high cliff. Beerus crossed his arms with his tail twitching slightly. His eyes no longer held their usual laziness. They were filled with deep contemplation. "Whis, yes, Lord Beerus the Angel," Whis replied while still watching Gohan's power. "I can accept. That is the evolution of potential. But that child..." Goten Beerus's voice dropped low. "That red and black aura. I saw it once billions of years ago. Before Zeno-sama erased the other 6 universes." Whis tapped his staff on the ground with a rare hint of worry. "You felt it too? That is Chaos Ki. It does not belong to the order of gods or mortals. It belongs to entities far more ancient. He has no fixed form shifting between dragon and humanoid. Only his eyes are distinct, golden eyes with vertical slit pupils radiating a blood-red light. In front of him is a crystal orb replaying the scene of Gohan, delivering the finishing blow to Frieza and Goten in his beast instinct state science. The entity's voice rings out, It does not travel through air but echoes directly in the mind, deep and commanding like thunder from the Abyss Yamoshi's little monkeys. They have evolved beyond the calculations of the angels. A hand covered in dragon scales reaches out and crushes the crystal orb. Black Frieza was merely a test subject to check the limits of this universe. And it seems that limit has been broken. The entity stands up. His size is so immense that surrounding galaxies look like mere specks of dust. The time has come for the Zalama Empire to personally intervene and correct this order. The Super Dragon Balls must be reclaimed by their true master. His glowing red eyes shine in the darkness, beaming straight toward Universe 7. Thus the Dark Knight named Black Frieza has been dispelled by the light of faith and sacrifice. Earth has been saved, but the price was not cheap. The scars on the land may heal, but the scars on the soul and the hidden dangers from the vast universe remain. How will Goten face the monster sleeping inside his body? Will Gohan be strong enough to shoulder the responsibility of protecting Earth in his father's stead against the coming god-level enemies? And Zalama, the creator of the Super Dragon Balls, who is he really and how terrifying is his power that even the god of destruction must be wary? The journey of the Z fighters never truly ends. It only shifts to a new chapter, more brutal and more magnificent. Thank you for accompanying us through all 3 parts of the Rise of the Dark God series. This was the passion of our entire writing team to bring you the most visually spectacular Dragon Ball experience. If you found this script compelling, don't forget to smash that like button to give energy to Goku and friends. Share this video with Dragon Ball groups to discuss together. And most importantly, subscribe and hit the notification bell to be the first to witness the arrival of Zalama in the next series. What power level do you think Zalama holds? Will Gogeta or Vegito be enough to face him, or do we need a new fusion? Leave your predictions in the comments below.